Now you've seen the heading, so I thought I'd come and show you what all the fuss is about. Now we're just near home, near my old home, the blacksmiths that you've seen, and this is the farm that I grew up on. And Brian in Australia, he said he'd like a few stories from it, so I thought, well, just to fill the video out a bit, over there, which you can just see, it's raining, it's a horrible day as you can see, in the mist, but in that field over there, now I came to this farm and spent most of my spare time from I was 9 until I was 16. And over there was an old radar camp with a big mast, and we climbed it 3 times. However, just a short amusing story for you. Over there in that field you can just see the hedge in the distance. Well, in the harvest time my job was baling, and not being the strongest of persons, I got the tractor driving job. I wasn't quite strong enough for the sledge, and the farmer's son, my age, which is how I come to be here, was actually had to go away, and he put his daughter on the sledge for the day. Now I was about 14 at this time, and his daughter was 16, you know, looking a very attractive young girl, if you like, young woman, and she had a bikini on. So you can imagine the scene. You know, we weren't looking where we were going, and I think there was more straw left in the field when we finished nearly than when we started. So there you are, just a quick one of the stories of on the farm from when I was young. Right, we made it to Skeg, and as you can see, it's not the best of days. Not that that matters, I can do enough to show you it. Right, like I said, it's the 9th worst holiday destination in the world. But the best way to show you it today, barring a brief little bit, I'm not going to be too long, we'll have a ride along the prom. Well, you can see it today, can't you? You can see what it's like. I suppose the highlight, and this is the highlight, if you've got a bit of a car, you can have a pose along the seafront in it. That is, well, it is the highlight of it, and that's it. You certainly don't want to come here for a holiday. I used to live, as I say, 10 mile away, and it was a dump then. I've just been talking to a local, I've got some friends here, and he said, unfortunately today it's gone downhill a lot in the last few years. So this is Skeg Fair. There's not a lot here, is there? You see, you've got a clock tower at the end, and that's about it. Now of course, you'll see on the seafront there's lots of places, there's fish and chips, and there's the rock factory, and you'll find lots of places in the summertime selling this little windmills and that. You know, they buy 1,000 for a penny off Chinaman and sell them for £1 a piece. But the highlight is down there. Now that's the high street, this isn't. Commonly known as Fish and Chip Alley. Anyway, the only attraction that there was in the summertime was to come and pose up and down there in your car, looking at the totty, and then going and having some fish and chips later. Of course, that's the only other attraction that was actually gone. And they just had 2 or 3 major fires here as well. We may have a look, I will have a look, right? We will have a look and see. There's the clock tower in front. There's lots of stories I can tell you about that as well. Now, if you're unfortunate enough to book into one of the seedy seafront hotels, you see on the road over there, well, years ago there was a slight highlight, just a slight one, because on the horizon and we will just have a walk down here and show you that on the horizon you could actually see, on a clear day, you could see across the wash to Hunstanton Beach, and that is probably the highlight. However, and I don't think you can even see it in the murk today, but as you'll see in a moment, it's now been obscured. So you've had your greasy breakfast at the CD Hotel, and if you do the march to the beach without having a heart attack, well, you're in for another shock, and you will see in just a moment, because not only can you not see Hunstanton, which I say, on a clear day, it was nice to see across the wash. It really was. That was one of the pleasures. The other one was, of course, the sea. Now, as you'll see, we're nearly there, look. We're nearly there. I'm trying just to do this in one because honestly, it's not the day for being out. The other thing, by the way, I was trying to find the sign, but it's gone. And the sign says Skegness is so bracing. Well, for bracing, read cold. It's always colder than the rest of the place. You need thermals on in the summer. Now, here we are, look. Now, I doubt you can see this, even if I zoom in. But, in the murk and distance, Hunstanton is now hidden by the eyesore of a wind farm. And I don't think, even if I'm sure if I just zoom that bit, even with a very good camera, you'd be struggling to see them today. However, as you can see, the tide is nearly in. But if we just have a very short walk, there is the pier, and we're just having a very short walk so you can see the main seafront up here. So as you see, even the muddy brown North Sea avoids this dump of a town. So if you do come in the summertime and you remember your thermals and you don't get blown off your feet, and you've got a route march across the litter-strewn beach, which of course is caused by all the day trippers from the Midland towns, and as you can see very well, you see the big wheel in the distance. Well, that's on the edge of the seafront. So you've got a veritable route march to even get to the sea. And in times of tidal surge, they've just had one. If you see this, even the inadequate sea defences are here. They must think they want the sea to swallow the town up, you know. So there we are. Right. So that's it from Skegness. So this is Malcolm Lincoln bidding you farewell, who's cold and wet and pissed off. Actually, totally pissed off. I'm going home to the fire.